Hello, friends, past clients, and future clients. I'm Rebecca Lindquist, the speech and accent coach for non-native speakers in the Bay Area. And I'd like to share some insights with you today that I've gleaned over the years working with foreign-born executives in the Silicon Valley. And as many of you may know, the communication needs have changed in the Silicon Valley in the last few years. It used to be that we focused on reducing foreign accents. But now we worry much more about clarity, confidence, and fluidity. So today I'll be sharing techniques for you, both standing and seated, that can help you to speak more clearly and effectively in American English. So now I'd like to show you how to activate your upper lip. You may never have thought about it, but Americans speak with our front teeth showing. Have you ever noticed that? And some Americans do it a lot. So as a non-native speaker, I recommend using a mirror because often we don't really know what our tongue and lips and teeth are doing. So if you look in the mirror and you notice your upper lip, it may or may not be moving much. Many of my clients have their lip hanging like this. Notice how it's covering my upper teeth. And the sounds have less control in American English if you do that. So the idea is to move the lip. If it's not moving, you might want to squeeze the blood source. So just under your nose, in this little area just above your lip, between your nose and lip, you squeeze slightly, and you might even squeeze on the sides a bit just to get some circulation and blood flowing there to allow the lip to lift. And then try saying a word like, oh, show me the window. The W and the O have a lot of lip rounding, but they don't have too much lip rounding. So depending on your first language, if you speak British English, for example, your lip might be doing more than our lip. It might actually be compressing, like ooh. So it's not ooh or woo, window, it's window. So notice I'm rounding the lip with activation, but I'm not squeezing the lip or compressing it. Fine distinction. If your first language is Chinese, for example, you probably need more rounding because you're likely not compressing. So it's just O. And then from here, notice if you can initiate with the lip. So the lip goes up first and then you start talking, as opposed to dragging your lip and talking like that and using the lower muscles. Really important to start right away engaging the lip. The other reason for that is any words that end in a D, an N, or an L, for example, will require you to lift your tongue, showing the underbelly of the tongue and lifting the frenulum. Now the frenulum is that little string or membrane between the middle of your tongue and the floor. So when you lift your tongue and attach it to your upper teeth, notice you can see the frenulum, the string, and the underbelly. Now for most non-native speakers, that's not what's happening when you make a final D. For most non-native speakers, the teeth are almost touching. So if you say a word like seed, notice that if your teeth are touching, it's really hard to make that D strong. If you instead drop your jaw and lift your tongue, and remember, activate your lip, seed. Do you notice my front teeth are showing, and my tongue, the tip of my tongue, is staying attached behind my front teeth? Seed. D. The tongue goes up and attaches for the D and then it drops. It also does that for the N, as in seen. Have you seen him? Notice if you drop the tongue, you get sin, sid, sin, and it's too short. If you don't notice this in your own speech, you might record yourself to see what you can hear. The third sound is the L, like seal, as in seal the deal. And notice not only does my tongue lift, but it lifts off the lower teeth. It doesn't sit on the lower teeth like this. So if you have it sitting on your lower teeth, sid, sid, notice it doesn't sound quite right. You have to separate the teeth, drop the jaw, lift. Don't rest the tongue on the lower teeth. Actually lift it off and touch. And if it won't do that, we do something called the tongue thrust, which is just an exercise to prepare your tongue for this movement. So to do that, you take your tongue and you stick it out. And notice I'm moving it in very slowly. Use a lot of control, and it may not in the beginning be easy to do. If it's not easy, make sure you're not squeezing the back of your neck back or that you're not doing other postural habits like squeezing your shoulders together. You want to keep them out and squeeze the back muscles a little bit. The other thing you can do as you take your tongue up is really press into the front teeth so that you can get a good connection there and leave it there. And this activation in the lip is going to help you because you're going to first lift before you do that. Seed, seen, seal. So that's what you want to practice. Now you may say to me, that looks too exaggerated. I don't want to do that. So the first thing is to perfect the movement. Once you can perfect the movement and you record yourself, just on a voice recorder on your phone, for example, and you listen back and you say, yeah, I sound pretty good. I said it right. Then you can worry about how you look when you say it. So obviously, if you're talking like this and over-articulating, this looks kind of strange, even if you're saying it correctly. So to keep from over-articulating, ask yourself on a scale of 1 to 5, how much effort are you using? So let's say when you say the word seed, you have to use a level 5 effort. Tons of effort. My question to you is, can you scale back the effort to a 4? So just a little bit, so that it's not so obvious you're doing it while keeping the integrity of the sound. So instead of seen, can you start to do seen? If not, if you try and you end up with sin again, then you need to stick with that level 5 of effort until you can do level 4 or level 3. I assure you that if you practice daily, you'll be able to get your effort level down so that it's a balancing act between how much effort do you have to use and how much freedom can you have. So you want to balance freedom with effort so you sound, again, confident, clear, but also really comfortable in your own skin. So you want to be able to be fluid without too much tension. And that tension is required in your spine and your tongue, but it's not required in the rest of your body. So make sure you kind of take your shoulders and roll them back, make your neck nice and long, reset yourself a bit, and then try again. If you practice daily, you will see a result. And I also like to mention that if you're struggling with this and you'd like some help, ask for a coach to help you. Getting that little extra piece of wisdom of someone really watching and listening to you and giving you feedback can make all the difference. If you know of someone who would benefit tremendously from this type of coaching, we always appreciate your referrals. In addition, if you yourself would like to take some coaching, or if you'd just like a refresher, reach out to us. We'd be happy to do that with you. Thank you so much for watching.